Hi, I'm Srikant Pregada. In this video, let's get started with Power BI Desktop. In order to build reports using Power BI, you need to have Power BI Desktop, which is a free tool from Microsoft. All that you need to do is go search for Power BI Desktop, and it's going to give you this. This is the official page from where you can download Power BI Desktop. So here I'm selecting Power BI Desktop and the language is English. Then I click on download and it's asking me because it knows I'm using Windows. So it's asking me whether I want to have Power BI Desktop setup or setup for 64-bit processor. As I'm using 64-bit processor, I select this and I go ahead and download. It is asking me where to download that. So I'm selecting some location where I wanted to download that. Done. So once the software is downloaded, the next step is to install it. Just go to the folder where you downloaded that and double click to get started. Well, the download is complete. So I can go and then start the installation. Go ahead and double click on that and it's going to start the installation process. Now it's asking me to go ahead with the installation. You don't have to select anything, just go with the defaults. You don't need to change much. Just go next and say yes. And then it takes a little while. Well, it's calculating space requirements. And go ahead, select next and accept the terms. Select the location. There's not much to change when it comes to this location. Or if you prefer to install it somewhere else, that's fine. Click on change and change the folder. I go with the default. And then I wanted to create a desktop shortcut. It's convenient to start it in that way. That's it. Go ahead and install. It's going to take some time to install that. So we will see how to use Power BI Desktop once it is installed. Then all that you need to do is just launch it and get started. Well, once the installation is completed, you get a window like this. It's asking you, would you like to launch Power BI Desktop? Let's keep this on and click on finish. It's going to launch Power BI Desktop. Power BI Desktop is free and all that you need to do is just install it, get started. This is where you create all your reports. But if you want to share these reports with your colleagues in the organization, then you need to publish these reports into Power BI service, which is like the cloud platform. But for that, you need to create an account in Power BI service. And for that, you need to have either an email address provided by your organization or by your college. So once you have an email address, either work email or school email address, you will be able to create an account and you can start publishing your reports. Well, but for now, let's just focus on how to create a report. So after you started Power BI Desktop, just click on blank report. We want to start with a blank report. And here select one of the data sources. Power BI supports numerous data sources. We can import data from Excel or we can import data from SQL Server or you can even use sample data. So Microsoft does provide sample data. So let's click on this, use sample data, and it's asking us to select the sample data. So just click on load sample data. Click on that. It's going to bring the sample data, which is called financials. It is bringing the data financial sample.xlsx. So that's the data we are using right now. And it brought that Excel file. Here we are. And we need to select this sheet because Excel is about a collection of sheets. I'm selecting this. And it also shows the data as a preview. If this is what you want, just click on load. It's going to load the data into Power BI desktop. We are using a mode known as import mode. So it is bringing the data from the source, keeping a copy in Power BI. Now, once the data is loaded, you will see in the data pane the table and all its columns. And once you see the columns, you can start creating your visuals. In Power BI, we have a simple hierarchy. A report contains pages, one or more pages, and each page can have a multiple visuals. So this is a table which contains 700 rows. That's decent data to play around with. Now we have a page because this is the page one in our report. We can create as many pages as we want, but that's good enough for us. Now this is where you see all the columns that we have in this table called financials. And you can have data coming from various sources. This is called the data model. So you can go to this and we have 4 different views. And if you go to the third view, which is known as model view, you can see what are the tables we have, what columns we have, and also the properties of each column. Now let's go to report view and start creating a simple visual. So I'm going to drag this. This is what I want to create. Okay, I want to create a report based on clustered column chart. Just double click on that. You get it here. This is what we have. Drag it to make it bigger. Now I want to display the sales across the countries. So I can drag the country to X axis and then I can drag the total sales to Y axis. Then it is going to show you the columns which represent the sales in each country. That is what we are doing. There we are. So this is how you get a report, and this is the way it shows the columns for each country. If you take the mouse pointer onto that, you also see the exact number like this. Power BI reports are very interactive. We can do a lot of things, but this is just a getting started video. I just want you to know how to get started. So install Power BI Desktop and then start Power BI Desktop. Bring some data from anywhere. I'm using the sample data provided by Microsoft. And then I'm dragging the country onto the X axis and then the sales onto Y. And it's automatically showing me the total sales for all the transactions related to each country. So this is how you get started. And once you have this report, you can publish that. But if you want to publish the report, you need to have an account in Power BI service. So that's a different process. So I just want you to know how to get started. But even if you don't have any account in Power BI service, you can do a lot with Power BI desktop. You can create all your reports, all your visuals, and you can just have enough information through those reports. The only thing is you can't share that with others because others don't have access to your reports. That's it. So hope that's useful. You understood how to get started with that. So keep using it, keep reporting, and enjoy this.